Hey, what's up, everybody? I finally got some inspiration to do another video, and I'm gonna bring you some actual live gameplay, because I don't feel like, recording gameplay, then, re rewatching the video as I do voice, so I figured just do it all in one. So, we've heard over the past couple days that Battlefield 5 might be World War One. When I heard that, I was, pretty excited. But also at the same time, I'm a little concerned because, it's a good thing and it's also a bad thing because basically what's nice about it is it's going to be kind of refreshing that it's World War II, or actually it's not World War II, World War One. And, there's hasn't really been any games that is, that have been World War One, and it would be refreshing, and it wouldn't be so modern, because we've been just I've been drained out with these modern games because they all look the same, they may play the same or slightly different mechanics, and I'm not really paying attention. It's just I'm just having my voice heard. I don't really care how well I do, but pretty much it's just like every game is, almost the same. But now that Titanfall came out, now every game is mechs in it and jumping super high. It always takes like a big franchise or a big, popular game to change a, way of playing a game or whatever. Like a style. Like Call of Duty and everything went to modern. Call of Duty 4 changed everything pretty much. Playing changed things for multiplayer as well. My biggest issue with the whole World War One setting is that how are they going to make it where there's a lot of unlocks for the guns, a lot of attachments for your guns, because there is no attachments for your guns back then. They didn't put camouflage on their guns. They didn't put scopes and laser sights. They can't do any of that. All that will go away. And they didn't have as many guns, and their tanks, vehicles all sucked as well back then. And a lot of the battles were not in open field. I heard they were in trenches. So that right there is kind of interesting how they would able to make it work. To me it would be like very very smaller. It would be a way smaller game in terms of unlocks and content. That's what I would be afraid of the most. How much content would they be able to fit in this? Because I think that if they were to do that, it would have to be like a $30, $40 game. Because yes, it may look like a AAA game, and yes, it may play like a AAA game, but it's not going to have a content like Battlefield 4, where you're constantly unlocking stuff, constantly getting attachments, constantly unlocking new guns and stuff for your vehicles. It's not going to be, it wouldn't be like that because there was so much less back then. You know what I mean? So that's something that I have biggest concern about. It may be like a Battlefront, where you unlock everything and you're done, Like, I don't know how they would make it where there's a ton of content, and that's the thing too. I think that's why Call of Duty went modern, because there really wasn't much to do in terms of creativity, customization for multiplayer, and there wasn't a whole lot of stuff to unlock. So when you're in a World War One or World War Two environment, there's a lot less to lean on. You know what I mean? Yeah, the atmosphere would be great. The graphics and everything would be great, but it's just that's my biggest concern. And a lot of people too, that some people are still burnout over World War II games. The fact that we saw a ton of World War II games in the sixth generation with PS2 and Xbox and GameCube. We saw a ton. Everybody had a World War II game back then, you know. So, you know, that's my biggest concern about it, and I want to see a game like that, but at the same time, I don't. Um, so, what do you guys think overall about this situation? Is it kind of 50-50 with you? You do, but you don't because you're worried about the content it brings? Um, Let me know in the comments. And you know, there's endless possibilities with this. They could also do Wolfenstein 2, where it's futuristic, but it's also where it's like science fiction, but it's also, you know, World War II as well at the same time. I don't think they would do that, but I think if for them to be able to get good content out of this game, they would have to have a great campaign and a great co-op mode. And I don't think DICE can do either of those, because DICE isn't known for, you know, isn't going to give you a great compelling story, you know, telling action-packed campaign. They just aren't really known for that. And they're not going to really give you like an amazing, you know, game-changing co-op experience as well, you know. So that's something that I'm concerned about. I don't know. That's if this is true, you know. There's still rumors. It's just a rumor, but I'm just giving my opinion on if this happens, what would they do in this whole, you know, content-wise. So let me know in the comments on how you think. And remember, I don't think there was any submachine guns back then. So all the guns will be bolt action and will take a long time to reload. So that's another factor into it. All the tanks and everything will suck balls too. So think about that. You know, maybe, would that be fun to you? Maybe it would be fun because, you know, everybody would be would be sucking at it. It would be an even playing field. It's not like anybody has an advantage or anything. But I just don't want them to go a battlefield or a battlefront route where there's hardly any content in it. You know what I mean? So I know I repeated myself a lot, but I'm trying to like maybe get the video out a lot longer than it should be, and trying to think of stuff that I'm trying to think of. But anyways, that's it. Just a short